What's up? It's your boy Kazi. Welcome to Kazi Plays, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to play Daredevil in today's guide. So without further ado, let's get into it. To start things off, let's first talk about his role. With Daredevil, he is a melee type character that has abilities that allow him to get in and out of fights pretty quickly. But because of that, you need to stay in the close range combat, so you do have to be smart about how you go into fights. He also excels in diving the enemy's back line to pick off any stragglers, but if need to be, he can also play brawl with the team. However, with Daredevil being blind, you are going to be playing this game in a completely different perspective compared to any other character in the game. Before we go over to the abilities, let's go over some settings. If you are a new player to the game and don't have too much map knowledge, this really dark area around Daredevil could definitely hurt your gameplay and you could get a bit lost around the maps. So what you can do is that you can head over to settings and go down to Daredevil's specific settings and go down to radar sense background brightness, and you can go ahead and turn this all the way down or to your preference. But when you turn it all the way down, as you can see the complete map now. However, keep in mind though, that doesn't mean you're able to see all the enemies. This is just to help you get used to the maps until you pretty much know how all the maps work. Now, if you take a look at this Galactica over here, that's my ally, and the one all the way over there, that's my enemy, they both have the same red lines all around their bodies. But my teammate does have a blue outline around him, but in the heat of battle it is sometimes hard to see. So what you can do to help you out is that if you go to your settings and then go to Daredevil's specific settings and head all the way down to scanline effect follows accessibility settings, you want to go ahead and turn that on, then head over to accessibility and then go to ally color and then go ahead and switch it over to blue. Now if you head back, now look at this. If you see the enemy bot and the ally bot, they both have different lines now, so it will help you out and make it a lot easier to tell between the allies and enemies. Moving on, let's go over his abilities. With Daredevil's passive, you have a limited range on the map and you also have a limited range on allies and enemies, and on top of that, you are able to see allies and enemies through walls. And finally, he has a passive that allows him to climb on walls and hang on there. His primary is just him swinging some clubs around, and then his melee is some quick jabs. His first ability is a deflect that lasts for 2 seconds that allows him to avoid taking damage from most attacks, and yes, this does include most ultimates as well. This next ability is a hook that has a reach from about 24 meters, and when it does hit its target, it will turn your primary into a righteous cross, and you have about 4 seconds to use it. And on top of that, don't worry if you end up whiffing the ability. As long as it doesn't come in contact with another enemy or an object, the cooldown will not start. His next ability has 2 parts to it. The first part, which is Devil's Throw, is essentially like Moon Knight's Boomerang, and it slows the enemies down and it turns your melee into Righteous Cross. And the second part of this ability, it's Devil's Chain, where he sends out a whip that converts any damage into bonus health and turns your primary also into Righteous Cross. But keep in mind though, if you want to get the maximum damage out of this whip, aim for the toes. If you take a look under my crosshair, you can see that there are flames under it, and this is called your fury. So whenever you want to use the throw or the chain, it consumes fury. But don't worry, if you use your primary or other abilities, it does recharge it. His next ability allows you to lock onto enemies from about 40 meters away, and it does give you a speed boost. It reduces their damage towards you, and on top of that, from about 20 meters away, you can go ahead and dash at the enemy and it will temporarily blind them. His ultimate has a range from about 14 meters wide, and it does continuous damage over time and lasts for 8 seconds. And on top of that, if you actually take a look at the enemies, there is a hand that fills up over time, and when that hand fills up to max, it blinds them. He also has a team up with Punisher that grants him an extra smoke bomb, and when it hits the enemy, it blinds them. If you have made it this far into the video and are further into the community, I do got a Discord, link will be in the description below. There we talk about Marvel Rivals, anime, manga, and whatnot, so if you're interested, feel free to stop by, we'd love to have you. Up next, let's go over some combos. I'll go ahead and leave the inputs up on the screen so you guys will be able to practice them yourself. And finally, let's go over his playstyle. In neutral, you want to go ahead and take an off angle and then take a second to mark one of the supports before diving them. And you have two ways to do it. If the support is near other teammates, then you want to initiate with Devil's Throw so you can go ahead and get that extra damage going. But if the support is by themselves or is a bit away from the team, then you want to initiate with Devil's Chain so you can get that bonus health to keep you alive a lot longer. Also, if you didn't know already, Daredevil has the ability to be able to see characters that are invisible, specifically Loki. He's able to figure out which Loki is the real one from his clones. Daredevil's mark is also extremely powerful with the fact that, especially in a team where people are actually using mics and communicating, he can tell people where enemies are at. For example, like the magic is diving from the left side, and on top of that, if a Punisher is there with him, he also gains access to the markings location, so he can also do the same as well. Even through all that, if the enemy still decides to dive, you'll be able to use your marking to dash to them, especially for characters that are pretty fast like Spidey or Black Panther, so you can go ahead and stop them and get them off your supports. Daredevil's reflect ability is insanely strong too, with the fact that it can deflect most ultimates in the game if you time it properly. However, with him being a melee character, he really struggles against Penny, and especially Penny with the Rocket team up, because he only has a limited number of resources to use to destroy the nest. Now, Daredevil's ultimate is really good at initiating pushes because of how big the range is for his ultimate. So what he could do is that he could literally just play piggyback and hide behind one of his tanks while they're pushing up, with his ultimate still going through. And the usual combos, like for example combo it into Groot ult, or now comboing it into Angela ult, or even Strange ult, is a really good way to use it. Now, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can flank behind and go in with your ult, but that's only when your team is really pushing the enemy from the front side, so you can go ahead and sandwich the enemy in between. And that's everything on how to play Daredevil. If I did leave something out, or you did discover something new, feel free to put it in the comments below to share with everyone else. And yeah, if you do want more Marvel Rivals on the channel, why don't you go to support your boy? I'll go ahead and catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.